Well, hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tales of the Skytorn. My name is Brandon Ross. I am your host and storyteller for tonight's episode. And if we're lucky, you are all hearing me. You'll hear the Discord, and you will also make sure all the avatars light up correctly when everybody talks. I checked it before we started, but no promises. As you know, I am not a very tech savvy person, but we're going to make it work.
Sounds good so far.
Good. That's very good. I may adjust a few volume settings here and there, but aside from that, I know I'm excited to. You're blue haired now? Yes, I changed my hair color to blue. It's time for green to go out and blue to be in. What the next color will be, who knows? We'll find out in a few months.
Vote in chat and we'll decide on a color together.
Maybe I'll get like
And
a
we can
dartboard and just put the color wheel on the dartboard and just throw a dart at it.
Gotta make sure you're blindfolded first. So you
Yeah,
can't aim
blindfold and just dunk. Before we get started, we'll go over some quick announcements. As you all know, we are on various platforms. I have been spending some of my good weekend time here. Do red for red. Okay, we'll see.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm partial to the color red.
Of course you are, because it's your character's name and hair color. There in the bits there. I see on the lovely artwork. I got that on for a second here. Announcements. I've been spending my weekends getting some recording done. I also moved to a new room for office, so we have bigger space in here to do better recording. So red or pinks for February. I just did this blue, so this will be a good month or two of blue. Maybe a little more. We'll see how quickly it grows, how long I can withstand it. Because I'm going to see how long I can let the hair go before I just get tired of dealing with it. So we're just going to just let it grow, and we'll find out how it goes.
Let it grow.
Let it grow. Yeah,
Let it
I knew that
grow.
was coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but I've been spending my time with our social media team and our creative team to write some short skits for our TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube shorts. So I'm excited that they're getting recorded. We're making sure the editing is correct, things like that. Then we will be releasing those fun skits. And to talk on those for just a minute, they're going to be a lot of great things, just either from tips and tricks for storytellers and players to just fun skits between various classes and memeing on some tropes in the format of that. I have some costumes I've been working on myself with the help of some great people to get into different character personas that assist in personifying different classes within this tabletop game. David has seen one of them. He seemed to get a chuckle out of it, so hopefully we can continue to write and record great things. And I want to get a few built up before we start releasing weekly, but they will be releasing weekly. With much luck on our side, they'll be releasing weekly starting not tomorrow, but next Thursday. So if you're not checking us out on our TikTok or our Instagram or our YouTube, get over to those and get followed so when those starts coming out in a week, you can hopefully enjoy some good laughter and content. Beyond from that, we do Sean Bean moments. Yeah, just the different ways he dies. Oh no, one does not simply let it grow. Oh, that's good. I thought talking about how he dies in every movie he's ever in. That's the meme
always
I
a
know
thing.
him for.
That is always a thing.
For our discords, we do again we do keep two. We have one that we usually keep for just announcements or sharing memes, general chatter, and that is our PhD Discord. Beyond from that, we have a fantastic text-based server that, while I would love to delve deeply into it, my time is unfortunately very demanding of other things. But since I can't speak on it too well, there is someone who can. David.
Hi. Yes. Welcome. It's chaos. It is torment. It is pretty much everything you could think of when you think about our Sunday stream. It is known as the Shirma, Land of Prosperity, which is about 1,000 years in the future of Sunday. You are looking at a lot more a world lore at that point. Um, and on top of that, you could also interact with a couple of players who actually run events I know that come tomorrow, I will actually be running a small little quest or one shot, if you will, in the server. So that'll be interesting to see how well they do with that. So, yeah, if you want to join us, then hop in, make a character, and just go wild. Have fun.
Perfect.
Back to you, Brendan.
Well,
God, now I feel like now I'm making this into like a freaking radio show.
You're doing great. Keep it up. All right. I think that's everything. Am I forgetting anything? Or are we ready to get into this?
I'm ready.
All right. Especially after left off last week. I bet y'all are ready.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. The story thus far, as these individuals have come together through various paths and walks of life, coming from anywhere upon this floating island, even to bringing a delivery to somebody else, to seeking answers for various questions, or already living there through happenstance, call it destiny, fate, or just storytelling. They have managed to come together, and through a bit of investigation, deep shenanigans, and very lucky dice rolls, they have managed to root out a seeming plot by one George Ilrum to wrestle control of the Surwich Fields to his own bended knee, essentially, as he sought to covet a position within the Merchant's Knot, a well-known grouping of individuals who had quite strong political influence, even reaching into the walls of the castle itself. Through their investigations, they uncovered a map that pointed out to the various tunnels that had been dug to allow sky sharks to come very far into the land of this floating island. Also, a journal detailing one's desire to achieve this position through any means necessary. Upon turning it over to the official powers that be, in a very under the table sort of manner, they went to the city proper, attended the what should have been ceremony for the promotion and acceptance of George Ilrum into the Merchant's Knot. Instead, was quickly halted by an individual known well to Red and now known well to this gathering of investigators, I guess you could call them, as Captain Gallon, who was a particular guard captain that oversaw most of the Surwich Fields. Interrupting this ceremony, he called the charges out loud to the crowd and walked away with George Ilrum in manacles. As we pick up where we had left off there, I had informed the party that there would be a 10-day reprieve for their characters to just breathe and have a bit of time to themselves. So I have that is my first question, is to each of you, and I'm just going to go across the screen here from left to right as I see it. So, Red, you are first. Aside from the things you sent me, is there anything else Red would have handled with her 10-day?
No,
what
that
would
would
have
be
done?
it. I mean, resting and relaxing, really, but also very much the thing that I sent you.
Okay.
That's in the forefront of her mind at the moment.
That's fine. To save us doing 1,001 rolls, just give me a singular.
Oh man.
This is definitely. Let's see here. Kind of a tough call. Give me 2 checks. Give me a wisdom check and a charisma check.
Okay. Well, that's not great. Wisdom was a 2.
Okay. Starting off strong here, folks.
Oh yeah. I think I need to change my dice color because That was a 9 on charisma.
And
Woo!
as you're doing that, let me do something real quick because I forgot to do it in the beginning of the stream, and that is my fault because I'm a bad streamer.
Nah, you're good.
I know. All right, I have turned back on the circle of the chat option. So if you see on the screen here, you can see help dice. Red has 1, Dracus has 2, Eva has 2, Doctor has 1. Each character can hold up to 3 total help dice. Allows them to add a 1d4 to any d20 roll they wish, except for death saving throws. So, if you have some channel points you wish to spend to give some people some help dice, now is your time. I'll close it here in about 5-10 minutes. Just characters keep track of yours, and then when I ask you for it, when I close it, we'll just update it then.
Okay, I might spend a help dice on the charisma check.
And you just got another one.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Let's see. How many or what D is it?
1d4.
1d4. Perfect. Okay. Oh, goody. Well, it'll at least get her over that 10. That's a 3. Okay, good.
Okay, so a 2 for your wisdom check and 12 for your charisma check. So
Yeah.
as you try to focus and reflect on the dream you had, you are unable to really pierce past any veil that's there, but the details of it do become a bit sharper, and you begin to recall certain aspects of what it meant to have that blood flowing through your ancestors and perhaps even further back.
Mhm.
I will say
Okay.
with that, let me look at your features and traits now that you are level 3. What kind of weaponry do you keep on you typically? Like a dagger or something like that? Do you keep anything like that with you?
Yeah, she's got 2 daggers and a crossbow.
Okay. You, as you're kind of having this reflective moment throughout the week, one day you kind of find yourself idly just toying with the dagger, just twirling it through your fingers. And before you even realize it, you look over and you've always been pretty deft, pretty handy with a dagger, decently able to throw it with some good accuracy, but something about spending time with it just made that bond feel stronger.
Ooh.
And should you so choose it, you can spend some time with one weapon and you can impose your presence through it, and you can use your charisma modifier for it.
Yes, I will do that with my dagger.
But it is that particular item. It won't be any dagger. It won't be any weapon. You can
Right.
impose your will upon one weapon.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely
Okay.
gonna be a dagger.
All right. Drakix,
Yes.
how would you like to spend your 10-day?
See, I'll be honest with you. I completely forgot. I was planning on sending you stuff.
Yeah, so now you're in the
And-
moment. What are you doing?
That's perfectly fine. So, considering who he is and what he does, which nobody else in the party knows,
True.
we're going to go along that line and actually try to inquire about equipment that can be moved behind the scenes.
Okay, so you're going to spend most of your time just walking the docks.
He has his day job, if you will,
Yeah,
that he has to continue with regardless. People need to remember the fact that he's there.
right.
So yeah, that's pretty much what he's gonna do, as well as like helping out anybody else who needs it in the party with like any supplies or anything else. So he'll try to maneuver his quote unquote friends to assist with that.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. That's a 12. Hey, screw it. I'm just going to use one of my die. Why not? That's a 13.
13. Okay. You do manage to acquire one new contact within the docks. An
Okay.
individual who only gives their name as Yos. Y-O-S.
Got it.
Yos is a decently presentable human male. He's got this kind of darker black hair he keeps trimmed decently well up over the ears. His clothing attire is not dissimilar to what you would wear or what those of your profession wear. They definitely understand that they need to wear certain things. They need to make sure that they look presentable, but also that they've been on the Cloud Ocean at least a couple of good times due to the state of their profession.
Got it.
Given that, between the 10-day you have, you establish with him a rapport. You kind of, the two of you kind of swap job stories here and there, kind of vetting each other out. It's a little tense. You feel you can trust him, and he feels he can trust you, but there's not like an immediate, like a bond. Like, oh, hey, yeah, glad to work. I remember you from this job. You don't have any prior experience with the individual. You've never heard of them. They've never heard of you. But
Yeah.
you are able to at least establish that point of contact.
Got
With
it.
the ship that you sailed with, are you going to have them go about their own business while you're landlocked, or are you going to have them? What are you gonna do with that crew, as you do oversee the crew?
He's going to make sure that they continue on with what the original plan was, because there would have been a series of stops that they were going to do.
Okay.
So,
I wouldn't say you particularly captain this ship. You're kind of like a term like
No.
you're like the under captain, where you just
Yeah.
you
The
do
first
your
mate.
nature of your job. Not even that.
Yeah.
It's you're kind of untitled due to
Mhm.
the nature of your job. It's just understood that when you speak to the ear of the captain. So you let him know
Yeah.
that your business here may be a while, and they continue on their business. They say their farewells, and they go about their way.
Yep. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Anything else?
Other than helping out the rest of them if they need it with anything, no.
Okay. Miss Eva, what would you like to do with your 10-day?
I have 2 questions for you.
I have 2 answers for you.
How many rolls do you want? Because I owe you 5.
I know. Just give me 2 rolls, and we'll just account it 1 with advantage, essentially.
All right. Be a 13.
13.
And then
let's see here.
I don't know what the other one was, but okay. Oh, 13 and a 2.
13.
Yeah, essentially.
I would say my first question is, where do you stay? Do you go back home or do you stay at the shop?
It'd be home.
Okay. So for that, you are able to keep yourself sustained. Let me get a dice roll for you. And
Thank
we'll
you.
just roll that throughout. All of my physical dice are packed up from my Monday night game, and I don't know where that is. So we're just gonna use a digital dice on a random person's character sheet. There you go. Thank you, Red. Roll to self.
DM's touching my dice now. Jeez.
I know. DM,
Maybe
the
he's
DM touched my
blessing them.
digital dice.
harassing them. You don't know.
I hope so. They need something.
It would help if I roll the right dice. That is... All right. So we'll say you exit this 10-day with a fresh, a mid-level tier dream having been just consumed.
Okay.
Next.
Hmm.
In these 10 days, does she happen to hear any more sweet nothings in her ear? Because if so, she would try to figure out what that's about, but otherwise she's just doing her usual.
Mm-hmm. Let me check something really quick here. I need to go to the player's handbook. Give me one moment.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I don't. Not the player's handbook. That wouldn't be in there. That's a new one. I need to go to the Bard page.
Because, if someone wants to whisper sweet nothings in her ear, she's open to it.
I know. I'm just looking here.
I mean, don't tell Red that.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, I got this ready. You do continue to hear these whispers. Particularly one day when you wake up, say about middle of the week, they just, at this point, actually, I'll ask you, how long would it take for her to hear them intermittently before she finally just gives in and listens?
Probably the 6th or 7th day, I would assume.
Okay. So about the
she'd hear it a few times and realize
Yeah.
there's something going on.
So about the 6th day you wake up, and when your consciousness fully comes to, you hear those whispers, just sourceless and numerous, just low, like they're just always there, like a static in the air.
But they don't seem to have a source.
They don't know. But you take a moment and you listen. And out of these voices, one of them does become more predominant. And it just says, follow me, follow me. And you get up and begin to, it begins to have a source, like just a general right, left, forward. And you head out down the street. You start to wander into a bit seedier side of town. Somewhere on the border of where let me see here. A little closer to Cloudside Valley, but also closer to the Sky Ocean ports. So a little on the outer ring.
Okay.
As you head out and about, it just keeps saying, here, this way, follow me. Before you come to a building that is just, I would say ramshackle and run down. If it wasn't for the fact it was still built, but it just looks like it's made out of just driftwood, gnarled lumber, kind of haphazardly nailed and bolted together. No sign. Dusted over windows, one broken and boarded up. But the door there's a sign just very plainly just written, hanging by this like bit of twine. It says open.
Okay.
Inside.
I am going to try and commit this path that I took to memory.
Okay.
And I would like to observe this place for the remainder of those 10 days. So it'd be like 2 or 3 days left.
Okay. As you go to leave, that whisper becomes more predominant. Enter. 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 Do you push through?
I'm going to try and keep leaving if I can.
Okay, you certainly can. Just the voice grows more
persistent.
pronounced. Yes, more persistent.
Okay.
But you keep an eye on it. There seems to be an individual come and go. Customers, mostly nondescript, and nobody that looks too familiar to you. You see, as you're watching, give me a perception check. See what you glean from your stakeout.
Not much. That's an 8.
Yeah, you don't really catch much. You do notice they walk in, and then they don't have anything in their hands. Then when they walk out, one's like clutching a book.
Okay.
Do you go in during any of your days of watch?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to accomplish?
That is all for me.
Doctor. I do have your
Yes.
message, but let's go ahead and discuss it as well. What would you like to accomplish with your 10-day?
Well, apart from what I sent you, if I have the time between one of those activities, I'd like to go into town and do some research.
Okay. So for the enchanting process, it is an 8-hour process.
Mm-hmm.
So you will still have time to do whatever it is you would want to do. It's just not going to be a ton of time. So what would you like to try and research?
I would like to try to do more research. See if I hadn't had time to yet in this island. See if they have any research on the disease.
Okay. Make me an investigation check, please.
All right. I will use my health dice even if it's a nat 20. By the way, I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely using a health die.
Okay.
That is an 11.
An 11. So given your limitations to be able to get into certain parts of the Fey Drift region itself, specifically within the castle area. And when I say castle area, I don't mean the castle itself. I mean the surrounding homes, buildings, and businesses that are in immediate proximity to the castle. There's a whole district that is essentially, for the most part, walled off and has gated entrances that are always guarded.
Mm-hmm.
You are not able to get access into there. Of the places you do find, the libraries you do get to, you find various books on, the dead, on the undead. You don't find anything that leads you to believe that what you're looking for has been seen by anyone other than you.
Okay, so basic stuff I've already found at other islands on all my journeys.
Yeah.
But other than that, that would be. Do I gain any business? Actually,
No, actually, it's pretty strangely just no one comes by. And you
Sure.
can see, there's 3 or 4 other buildings decently nearby, probably about anywhere from 40 to 60 feet away of just other homes, but no one seems to make their way towards you, or at least towards the building.
That's fair. It's only been under new management for a few days at this point.
Yeah. But I would say you are able to complete your enchanting of the item. What are you enchanting?
My mask.
Okay. So, anyone who is staying at the apothecary would notice that for about a good 8 hours every day, the doctor is upstairs, mask removed. And what tools do you have available to you?
I have an alchemy set as well as my general notes. Yes, notes. Write down spells and stuff like that. Ink and pens.
Okay, I would say with your alchemy set, utilizing some of the acids within it, along with some of the other tools, you're able to acidically burn across the material of the mask. Just enough to do a little bit of carving. The correct runes and shapes for the spell you're enchanting into it.
I also have my scalpel, if that would have been better.
that is also a tool you could use. I wasn't sure if you wanted to use that on the leather and the material of your mask, but if you want to, you're welcome to.
Well, if it would be better than me potentially overdoing it with the acid, that's what I mean.
Are
You
you
would be trying to
proficient
be
with
very
your?
careful with this.
Are you proficient with that kit?
With the alchemy supplies, yes.
That would be a non-issue then. You're fine.
Okay.
You have that proficiency. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna say there's a chance for it because there's not. You're accustomed to it.
All right.
Okay. I would say about the 6th or 7th day, there is a knock at the apothecary door, and someone does walk in.
I would go greet them.
Familiar human male. It's just later in the evening as well. A familiar human male wearing a breastplate with greaves and a longsword at their side. The standard cerulean lapel over the left shoulder. This is Captain Gallon. He kind of pokes his head, walks in, and as you come down the stairs, he's just kind of looking around. And he turns to the stairs to see you.
Good evening, Captain.
Good evening. Don't believe I ever got your name. If I did, I've forgotten it. I apologize.
This is the doctor.
Just the doctor.
Yes.
Okay. Is Red around?
Has she been staying around?
Oh yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Okay. Then I would say yes. Go get her for you.
Thank you.
I would go up to, I guess, where she's been sleeping, and knock on the door. Wait for a response.
Yes, come in.
I'd open the door, and you have a guest downstairs. Captain Gallon.
Oh, interesting. This should be fun. She will go downstairs and, upon seeing him, well, hello, Captain. How are you?
I am well, thank you. I was just stopping by to keep you updated on the progress of that issue you assisted me with. And honestly, all of the fields, is all of your compatriots available?
Sure.
Miss Eva's.
Oh wait, Miss Eva is where now?
She's probably staying in town in her home.
Correct. Have a child to take care of.
That's right.
Who has been missing her mother for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, jeez. Is Drac at the house?
Probably. He's probably making coffee. trying to keep Red away from
Oh, I can go get Drax, but Ava's not here. She's in town.
That would be enough. I just want to talk to as many as I could.
Right, okay. She'll go into the kitchen and kind of clap Drakex on the shoulder. We have a guest here.
Guest?
Yeah, Captain. Come to the front. He says he has some news for us.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yes. Right. And like for a moment there, he kind of like freezes, like, what the fuck? And then he's just like,
already.
And then he hears the rest of it, and he goes like, "Oh, okay." And he just like walks downstairs, coffee in hand.
Oh my gosh, does she notice this? Is it like blatant freezing and then relaxing as she finishes?
That's his choice.
Insight check.
Right?
I was gonna say, like, you need to roll that.
If you want, I was gonna ask you if you you would tell when these things happen moving forward. Just let me know. Hey, there's a chance it could be seen. I would like to request a roll, and then I'll have them roll. So if you would like to request a roll,
this is actually one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Red, may I please have an insight check?
You got it. That'd be a 16.
Okay. And I'm just going to put my trust in you, Drakex. 16 is the number she rolled. What DC do you feel she would have needed? And you don't have to tell us that. You can just say yay or nay and then describe moving forward.
Yeah, no, that would work.
Mm.
Yeah, you could definitely see like him getting tense for a moment and then just relaxing as he walks past.
There you go.
She's definitely talking to him about that later. She's making a mental note.
Okay.
She will follow him towards the front of the house.
Okay. So the three of you meet downstairs, and the captain has just taken a seat on the couch. He sees you two approach, stands up, and good evening. Drakix, was it?
Yes.
Well, I just want to go ahead and say, first off, of course, thank you for not bringing me anything and not assisting in stopping someone who would have probably done a lot of not so great things with their position had they been able to achieve it.
You're very not welcome.
I had some time to read through their journal of their plans, and it is certainly it's good we were able to get them.
I surmised as much just from skimming it.
You will hear the next few things over the next couple of days, but I wanted to bring it to you first.
Mm.
The Ilrum lands have been completely taken by the kingdom. And his charges for transgressing on the law of the deep, intentional endangerment of life, and the direct involvement, while he didn't hold the axe that took the Moscale's son, he certainly was responsible for the shovel, and we brought to that as well. Their lands will be passed out equally amongst the eldest, after keeping him on strong probation. They'll be able to keep some of their land, enough to sustain a bit of the family. But most of it will pass to the Moscales, who've had their lands and ownership reinstated, and to the Collins.
Mm.
Good
Good.
to hear.
With that, again, I wish there was more I could give to you, but as there is no official trail,
No, that's highly understandable. I'd rather have it this way anyway.
well,
Can't be doing too many good things.
perhaps there is something I could bring you.
Hmm.
I cannot bring you coin or jewels today, obviously, but perhaps a bit of work I could throw your way.
Now you're talking my language.
And you see his mood shifts a bit. Red, you don't see this side of him often. It's almost as if, and you see him as he kind of takes the lapel and brushes it over his shoulder, intentionally folding the crest over and covering it as he puts it behind his back. I would say, looking over the passive insights here, Doctor, you would associate this mostly, and you've dealt with this in the medical field. It was kind of when, like, hey, we're taking the doctor coats off, we're going to talk like men.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of a vibe that you kind of glean as you look over his body language.
Okay. So this is a serious topic.
Yeah. There was some political figures from Riz in these lands recently. The nature of their visit, I'm unaware of, but I do know they will be returning in the next couple of days to Riz. I was wondering and considering if you wouldn't mind being a part of their returning escort.
Rack actually kind of like blinks a couple of times, like, I'm sorry. Hold on. Just for clarification's sake, you want us to go with them and deliver them.
I want a neutral party of individuals I trust, and he looks directly at Red with this just soul piercing look. Like the weight of the gods are upon your shoulders, Red, and you feel his presence, just like ooh.
We can give you guys some private time if you need it later. That's perfectly fine.
Now you're being coy. Continue.
I can't send any of my direct soldiers on this because they'll know, they'll understand. But I would very much like to have somebody that can bring information back to me on that skyship. You would be a part of their escort party, returning them to Riz. You would not enter Riz. You probably won't even leave the skyship. But you will escort them and ensure they stay safe from any unfortunate attacks that may happen, which I doubt will happen. You're going to be escorted by their escort and then our military escort as well. But I want somebody on their particular ship.
Hmm.
They won't
And
let
you
us
can get us
assign
on it.
any of our soldiers to their ship, but if I could arrange. And he kind of looks over at Drakix and kind of just. I really need to get my dice. I need a D20.
Use my dice
Stats.
again. Don't sully anyone else's dice.
We'll find them on break.
Will do. Yeah, I'll get my dice on break. Yeah. So he looks kind of Drakix over. Well, you at least seem to have some sailing experience.
Hmm.
I've sailed, I've survived, I've kept the crew alive long enough.
If they're looking for a couple of extra hands on that skyship, could you pass off?
Oh, definitely I could pass off as a hired hand, help out with the ship wherever needed. I won't even be noticed after a while.
And then he looks to Doctor. You certainly stand out.
Indeed.
What skills do you have?
Well, as my name suggests, I'm very skilled in the medical fields, magical and not magical. And I have traveled upon sky ships for as long as a month. So,
Did you assist
and
with
not
any
for
of the
free.
work on there, or were you just a passenger?
I was you could say, the ship doctor. In
That'll
case any
do.
accidents happened, I would help. And if anything was within my realm of knowledge, the arcane, I would help out well with like the engine.
Okay. Could probably make that work. Talk to your ally, your friend who's not here.
How long would this journey be?
To Riz? At least a month.
And that's when the doctor just kind of, leans against the wall a little bit, hit his one hand to the beak, kind of like thinking, not sure she can do, but
Why?
she has a family.
See. Think it over. Let me know. And with that, he'll kind of reach over, fix his lapel, just give a nod. Have a good evening.
You as well.
And he kind of looks over. Do you keep anything on display? Any tonics or balms or anything?
probably a few here or there. Maybe some raw herbs as well that you can crush with tea.
Okay. He kind of grabs a couple of um, one of your little vials for beard, like hair beard growth support.
Okay.
You know, I think I have a rookie on my team who I could get a good laugh out of if I gave this to him.
If you wish to purchase it.
How much?
How much would you? Player-wise, I don't know how much to sell this for.
He sets down a
Based on your
he sets down a
currency.
silver.
Okay.
I was about to say 2 silver, but that works.
I know I know how I run money in my worlds, but
Yeah.
the DM. But this is I'm not the DM.
He'll
so
set
I
a
don't know
silver
the
down,
money system
and
yet.
you feel like that's pretty
Okay.
fair.
Okay.
Well, just the thing I was looking for. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Pockets it.
See you around, Captain.
Goes about his leaves.
My first sale.
Anymore.
True.
Well, that was certainly interesting.
That it was.
I, for one, really want to go.
I as well, but I'm not sure Miss Eva would be away from her daughter for that long. Or at least I wouldn't want to ask. But obviously, we should ask her how she feels before we make a decision.
Right.
DM, you did say this is on day 7 of the 10-day.
Yeah. So you have a few days to discuss a couple things before we wrap it up for your 10-day of just rest, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, since this is probably a big thing for the doctor, or something he deemed important, next time he goes into town for his library trip, he would probably make a stop by Miss Home.
Okay. And you've
And
been to her home, correct?
yes,
Yeah, easy
met
enough.
her neighbors.
Next day, you're able to get up, and those of you who wish to go can go grab Miss Eva.
Oh, Red's certainly making the trip, for
Okay.
sure.
The next day, after a quick hearty breakfast, you head over to Eva's home. And Eva, as you're beginning to get ready, slept in a little bit, there's a knock at your door.
How early are we talking in the morning?
Well, they would have slept, eaten, and traveled, so it's probably, for you, it's definitely after breakfast.
So like 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, roughly.
That's perfect time. Give me just a second.
Sure.
Nope, never mind. Okay. She will re-up her disguise self and go answer the door.
Okay. You open the door and you see a dragonborn, a familiarly masked humanoid creature, and Red.
Keep the description. Okay, I like it.
Well, hello there. How have things
hello to
been?
yourself. The usual.
Well, that's good.
What brings you all to my door?
We had an interesting visit. Probably should maybe go inside to talk about it.
Sure, come in.
Sorry, I know it's incredibly rude to just invite ourselves in.
Like you haven't done that already, darling. Come on.
She will walk her happy ass in.
You head inside, you close the door behind you. It's a warm and welcoming home, I would imagine. Definitely there are signs of a toddler.
Nice. So you know our friend, the captain, right?
Your friend, you mean?
Well, maybe our friend, if things turn out correctly. He made a visit to very much not thank us for not giving him the information to not lead to an arrest. You know.
As things happen, yes.
Mm-hmm. He also gave us a bit of a opportunity. We haven't given him an answer yet because we felt it necessary to talk to you first. This
What's going
opportunity.
on?
Well, dignitaries from Riz need an escort that cannot be soldiers. They don't want soldiers on his boat. So, and I get the feeling it was kind of unofficial request. But he wanted us to keep the dignitaries safe on their way back to the island.
DM, what would I know of the island of Reese?
Make a
If
history
anything.
check.
Oh boy.
And for you,
That's not bad.
well, for your
It's a
particular
50.
background, roll advantage.
Oh, okay.
You will see why if you hit a certain DC.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh,
I will just roll another one since that was already one. That is a 19.
19.
Actually, nope. I'm gonna throw my D4 on there.
Okay.
Ooh.
nice.
I don't know what
Spicy.
your DC is, and I want it. 22.
I like the way you said
All
that,
right.
Brandon. What do you mean?
22.
22. You are very familiar with the islands of Riz because before your travels here, there was open communication and business with that island through your soon to be family and short lived blood family. What you know is that the common knowledge is that Riz is two very large islands, both of them by themselves the same size as Wingata. They are attached through a series of large bridges, specifically three main bridges known as the three paths. Normally, when you talk about Riz, you talk about the Island of Three Paths or Riz. It's a term given to that set of islands to assist in describing both together. Because while they are obviously two separate islands, they are a singular kingdom.
Okay.
Much like the island you are on, it does not move. It is just too large to orbit the globe as the other smaller islands do.
Right. That makes sense.
Along with the common knowledge, then we'll get into the specifics you know, is that it is a extremely guarded, heavy in the military arcanum realm. They're very much advancement for weapons' sake. They're not like what you're used to here, to where it's advancement for advancement's sake, to make these changes, to create weave tech, to make these incredible devices that can go on these just railways of sheer arcane power and jettison people and items across the entire island in almost no time. They're not for assisting in making these fantastic skyships who can carry more weight and more people to get people moving. They make these things for war, for protection, for the arms race. Now,
For that, would this be known as an arms race with another island or another kingdom?
No.
Or just in general?
In general. Because your specific knowledge leads back to knowing that Riz, along with all the islands, Riz is one of the most closely connected islands to the world before it was torn. It is rumored that this island maintains working lore and knowledge of before the separation of Earth and sky.
Okay.
To that end, they have always seemed to be perceived as paranoid in their arms race. There's no need for the advancements that they have in war. There's no need. There's no war here above the clouds. There's tense moments. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's a peaceful realm of druids hugging trees.
Mm-hmm.
There is tense moments. There has been conflict over the clouds. And there's sky pirates. There's other nations that will have their rabbles back and forth. But in general, there's no true war. You also know that the specific race of a large population of that is the only place you can find that race. They are a being of humanoid individuals who have been known to manifest ethereal arcane wings to take flight.
Cool.
And that is what that roll gets you.
So, as her brain flashes through all this information at the speed of light,
Yeah.
we want to escort dignitaries.
That's what he said, yes.
Do we know where they're going? Are they coming here?
No, they're going back to the island.
Ah, okay.
If you
Return.
recall, the waitress the other day informed us that dignitaries of Riz have been staying at the castle.
Right.
Makes sense.
Our only concern is that it might take you away from your daughter for a time.
It would be a month's travel by ship.
That was just there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is quite a ways.
Well, let me ask her. And she will call Cassandra down from her room.
Okay.
And with Cassandra comes a puppy.
Oh.
Yep.
Because she promised Cassandra she would get her a puppy.
Cassandra comes down and she's got the puppy like in that like holding out like held by the underpits of the puppy and like holds it up to her mom.
Are you having fun with him?
She just nods, just smiling.
Alright, well come sit down and put him on your lap for a moment.
Okay.
You remember my friends? You've seen them before.
Uh-huh.
Hello, dear.
Time it being dry.
Hi.
Brack just waves. He's just like, child, what the fuck? But anyway, he's just like, hi. Says nothing else.
Wow. And she just stares
He's
at
big, huh?
Drakex. He's tall.
You probably haven't seen very many. He is a dragonborn. So
You're a
he's
dragon? That's all she got from that.
All she gets is dragon.
Okay, I need to know, did she like attach herself to his tail at this point?
She's still holding a puppy.
She's
so
holding the puppy,
kind
but
of.
you can definitely see she's eyeing the tail. Like, is that a toy? What
She
is
could
that?
hold the puppy in one arm and just like jump on top of his tail. And it's like,
She
oh my
could.
god.
Red is going to lean into Drakex and whisper, I can make it look like you're breathing fire if you want to.
For a moment, he's about to say something, and he just like looks down at the child.
And then you feel a weight. on your tail.
And he just sighs softly. He goes like, "No, this is fine. This is fine. It's fine."
She's sitting on your tail.
He actually maneuvers his tail enough for her to sit comfortably and lean back if she wants to.
Wow.
Now that's
a
just adorable.
tail. And she's got the puppy holding close, and the puppy's like slipping. She'll re-grab it and hold it up, and it's like licking her and looking around, and she's looking around. Wow, Mom, your friends are cool.
That they are. Come. Don't impose on him. Come back here.
Oh, no. Feel free. Impose away. I'm going to draw a picture of this.
And he also kind of like waves it off like, this
A
isn't the
handwritten-
first
a
time this has
handwritten
happened,
message right there.
nor will it be the
Won't be the
last.
last.
It definitely won't be the last if you keep coming around, because she has questions now.
Mhm. Just for a visual note, you'll notice the Dodger's mask has got some new runes carved into it.
That's right.
Darling, I might have to take another trip again, but it's going to be a longer one this time. If you would like, I can stay here, but I will leave the choice up to you. You want me to stay? Or are you okay staying with the neighbors again?
I can stay with the neighbors.
I'll kind of lean down to get to her height. Are you sure?
And she just kind of looks to you and then looks to your friends.
And inside of Cassandra's head, she just hears the softest of whispers. Nor are they as comfortable as that tail you're laying on.
And she looks around. And then she looks at the puppy. Did you do that?
I love it.
Oscar can talk.
Make mental note. Dog is named Oscar.
Okay.
Important.
Indeed.
The worst part of all this is the fact that Drac, at this moment in time, wants to keep messing with her, but just the pure shock and awe inside, like in her voice, he just like keeps him from doing it, and he just chuckles softly.
And you see she just hugs Oscar more. I knew you were special. I won't tell Mom you chewed the bedpost.
Oh, God.
See the eyebrow quirk a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it hasn't been very long since I've been back, so we'll say again, the choice is yours. If you don't want me to go, that's perfectly fine.
It would also be
They
a
can
few
handle
days.
this without me.
It would also be a few days before we leave anyway.
She's kind of thinking it over. And she's a kid. If she gets to stay with neighbors and have a puppy, she's fine with that. Give the kid a puppy. She's pretty persuasive to staying with the neighbors.
Fair enough. All right, come on, leave Drakex alone. He needs his tail back.
No, he doesn't.
Red,
He
stop encouraging her.
reluctantly just slides off. Almost drops the puppy, picks him back up. No, come here. And Oscar gets loose and he just runs off.
Go get him.
She chases after him, just laughing.
Like, before she even like gets out of eyesight, she just hears it in her head again. The next time I come by, you can sit back on top of my tail without issue.
Oscar, I can't sit on your tail. You're not that big yet.
Yep, your voice now belongs to the dog.
Yep.
It's fine.
Your inner monologue is now a dog.
He just chuckles. He's just like, that's a first. That is actually a first.
Mm.
Well, if she is all right with it, then I guess I am all yours. When do we leave?
Did we get a day in time? Do we have to go try to get on this boat?
You said you haven't given the captain an answer, so I presume you probably need to go talk to him again.
We do,
Probably.
yes.
Probably do that while we're in town today.
Mm-hmm.
The original idea was to ask for your opinion and then go from there.
All right. Give me today. I will set things up with the neighbors to make sure that everything is fine with them. And when you get word, just come back and let me know.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Shall we go visit the captain then?
Yes, I
He
believe
looks
so.
at. Yeah.
We're in
Okay.
town.
Mhm.
Might as well not waste the trip.
You navigating the streets of this district, you make your way to the familiar, slightly out of place stone building that sits just on the border between the Sirwich Fields and the Phaedrus region. A familiar building with a single, like, light blue banner with the singular tower embossed in the middle of it. Head inside, you find the captain in his usual small, cramped office space. All of you crowded in there except for Eva. Close the door behind you.
You know, with the recent developments, I'd think they'd have gotten you a bigger office, but whatever.
Well, you know the reward for hard work. More hard
More work.
More paperwork.
And you can see there is a
Gotcha.
stack of just parchments just on his desk.
All right, well, we have an answer for you. We
That was
will.
quick. Okay.
Well, she was rather agreeable to it. We'll go ahead and do this for you. When can we expect to be off?
They are heading out. I believe whatever their purpose was is coming to a close tonight or tomorrow night. I don't. Again, things I don't even know. Just happened to catch wind that they were getting a crew together to go with their ship back with them. I guess some of the individuals that they brought with them on their original ship decided to stay here. So they were looking for some extra hands. And
Who do we need to talk to?
well, I can arrange that. I just have a couple of questions in order to make sure you sound as desirable ship hands. You said you can easily operate as a ship doctor. It's handy for such a long travel, so that's very good. He'll look to Red. Will you be going under your normal talents with your arcane abilities, or are you going to go with something else?
No, I will absolutely be going under my arcane bruiser status, if you will.
Very well. Look to Drakix. And you said you've sailed many times before. Is that correct?
That I have.
Just to assist with the paperwork, what ship and were you the captain, or what was the captain's name?
He kind of like takes a deep breath, like, oh,
Red is listening incredibly interestedly.
Same with the doctor.
he takes a moment and he just goes, the ship doesn't exist anymore as it was actually destroyed in a battle.
It's unfortunate. Did it have a
And
name
that
before
has-
it went down?
It did. And the player is trying to remember what it was because he had it written down. I found it. Hold on. The ship was named Stardust, and the captain was known as Breeze.
Stardust. Captain. You see he's writing this down on this like a scratch. Captain Breeze.
Does Red recognize this name?
Red does recognize his name.
I know the doctor guaranteed does, but he's mentally checking it off for what Drackets told him about certain things.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, one of the benefits of being here on the borders is you have a couple of things you can handle. All right, I will send some paperwork to the apothecary when it's ready. 2-3 days. See if I can't get a better answer for you. I have to go down to the docks and get a few things figured out.
Forward to the news.
All right. Well,
And if any of your men need more tonics or herbs, they can come down to the apothecary.
no, I actually, I gave that to the rookie and told him maybe next time I see him, I want him to have a full beard.
Maybe I'll open a prank store. Who knows?
Who knows?
Only recently acquired stores. We'll find out.
All right. Well, I'll send word.
All right. Thank you.
Of course. You all leave.
Mhm.
Head where?
This is still in the downtime time frame, right?
Yes.
Doctor would go to the library to just do more of the general studying, and that's about it. Then I go back to the apothecary.
Nice.
Drac is probably going to try to stay as far away from the two of them as possible now.
Oh no! He's not escaping. This is not a thing.
I said he would
What are
try.
we doing?
Yep, he's certainly going to
What's
try.
going on?
I think maybe some drinks are in order. How about you, Drakix?
Mm. By all means. Drinks. Yes.
By all means. You don't like drinking? What happened to you?
Oh, a lot has happened. And a lot of
Mm.
nothing. So therefore, but drinks, then let's go.
Drinks it is.
Okay.
She's going to find an appropriately seedy bar.
An appropriately seedy bar. Very well. Let me look over my map here and see where you guys are heading. Which one would be the seedy? Like, you like the truest seedy bar, or just the first seedy-like bar you find? That is really gonna depend here.
Something where they can talk about a lot without anybody being taken aback by what they talk about.
Okay. You get to you and Trakix, you would know similarly kind of the area because you've just been to similar areas on different islands. Doctor, you are out of your element. As Red leads the three of you, staying mostly along the border, but heading a little more into the Phaedrus region. She heads further outward towards the docks until she gets to where it seems like some of the land is actually cracked and a bit of it is exposed a bit further in to where the two regions are split. And there seems to be a literally torn in partial building that was probably built over solid ground when it was built, but now, given how things are, wood and stone has replaced a bit of the natural dirt that was once here, and one building just wasn't repaired. It is small it is within just a constant cluster of warehouses and just buildings that are probably being not lived in but squatted in or rented out for cheap prices for those sailors who are coming and going. And it has this hilarious, incredibly immaculately made sign. Just this amazing polished wood with this incredible oak finish as it hangs. It just says the expensive tavern. But you can see expensive is in quotations as it just hangs there just from rope. You head inside and it's small, seedy dive bar, maybe 20 by 30 if you're lucky, and probably even 20 by 20 if you take out the bar itself. Behind it, there's this kind of hunched over one just beefy forearm on the bar counter as there's this just gnarled, grizzled dwarf with no hair up top and this incredibly bushy, just liquor stained white beard. One eye's got this gnarled scar over it. It's kind of milked over. The other one's squinted, half shut. There's like 2 torches in here, if that.
Please tell me Red knows him.
Roll a history check.
Oh, okay.
See if you've come here before.
All right. That'd be a 13.
13. You stop by a time or two. This is Kovruk.
Kovruk?
Kovruk.
Okay.
Kovruk. He kind of looks at you. See if he can even see you, honestly.
She is going to walk up to the bar, slap down what she knows to be the appropriate amount plus a little extra onto the bar, and Kovruk, good to see you again.
Yeah. Good to see
ales.
You too. Charlotte.
Red.
Red. Yeah, he's like Charlotte. Red. I knew that.
Better remember my name the way I tip you. Anyway, 3 ales for us, please.
Right. And he just grabs 3 mugs and equally janky, made of like what appears to be like driftwood.
I love this.
One's actually made of stone. It's like smaller than the rest, like a shot glass. And he just pours them out as much as he can and slides them over. There.
She slides the coins across the counter, and there is a nice little tip in there.
His one other beefy dwarf arm that's just ends in just knuckles upon knuckles. He just slides it over. Thank you.
Not a problem. She grabs all 3 of them and kind of makes her way to a table.
Okay. There's maybe one guy in here, and it's just this old sailor who's just deep in the cups. You can see they're like knocked over one side, and he's just staring at his one cup, just old and staring at it, just lost in the sauce. Like, you're not sure if he's looking at his reflection or if he's just passed out with eyes open. You can't really tell.
All right, let's have a seat then, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
She places the mugs out and she goes,
okay.
So, nice to hear a little bit of your past for once, Strakix.
Yes, I assume so.
You assume so.
And he takes, and he just starts to drink immediately.
What's your passive perception? No, you wouldn't see it. You just grab your mug and just down it. It's not cold. It's not good. It's strong.
It's probably still
this
not
is
the
akin,
worst he's ever
This
had.
is akin to something you would wash the outside of a skyship with, like the underside.
It's probably still not the worst thing he's ever had.
he did have Red's coffee, so
I mean, yeah,
True.
very true.
Too.
Maybe Red has a taste for nasty drinks. Anyway.
Explains a lot.
Before this, real quick, would you guys have rounded up to give Miss Eva the news and bring her out for the night?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, if she can.
Eva, if you so choose, you are more than welcome to spend the night out with your allies.
Nah, no, I'm just kidding.
Fuck those guys.
yeah. Well, Red would absolutely have bought Eva's drink too then.
Okay.
All right.
And probably Drag is helping carry them all, if that's the case.
Probably. Sir, you seemed a bit hesitant to divulge the information earlier. Any particular reason for that we should be on the lookout for?
There's stories about that ship. So it depends on if you know the stories, then you may want to keep an eye out.
per se, we did know the story.
He looks pointedly at the doctor like, fuck your bullshit.
Growly doesn't. I'm being real. The doctor actually doesn't know the stories.
I know, but still. Fuck your bullshit.
What's your passive insight, Jackix? The doctor's an idiot. He doesn't know shit. There's not a body on the table. He doesn't know what he's
I'm a
doing.
foreigner.
My passive insight, perception, investigation are all tens.
I wrote those down earlier and I lost it. It was great. I was so happy.
He ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
But
Well,
he
I
hit
should
real
say.
good.
He is the sharpest tool in the shed, but he doesn't know how to use it very well.
So do you care to explain any of it? I mean, we've been around each other this long. You've seen what I've gotten into. So, fair's fair, right?
Let us put it this way. If you need something that you can't get by normal means, I would be typically the man to go to get it.
And is this because of your captain?
Yes, I learned the trade from him, and I
Interesting.
keep it close to the chest, if you will. I don't let it be known.
Let's say that one was trying to find him. Would you know where to find him?
You're gonna find him below the cloud sea.
Oh, that is tragic.
Well, I plan on actually going down there one day anyway, try to see if he survived, because knowing that ungrateful bastard, he's probably alive.
He did strike me as having a strong personality the one time I did meet him.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it's been several years.
Because he's been missing for. And how long did I put that in there? Because I know I did. Probably.
I think we agreed upon like 3 to 5 years.
How many?
3 to 5.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been quite a while.
Well. Yeah. So it's been that long. So maybe because I've been by his side that long. It's very odd the fact I didn't recognize you when I first came in.
It is quite odd.
I don't mean to sound rude or pry too much into it, but did his disappearance have anything to do with my birthmark? You seem to have a very
Storyteller.
Remembering, because I wrote down the role you had when you did see that birthmark. That memory does come back to you.
As wasn't that mark on one of the other ships?
One of the other ships that was a part of that conflict that day did fly a familiar banner on a black cloth with white threads.
The last time I saw that, I was on the wrong side of cannon fire.
Hmm.
Maybe you're a part of them? Or maybe they decided to take that symbol and use it for their own gain. I don't know. But the last time I saw that was on a flag of black with white thread.
Hmm. Well, as I told you all, I was orphaned. I was raised in an orphan. Never knew.
Right.
Couldn't tell you.
So, that means that if we do find them, I have no need to worry about feeling terrible at ending them all.
At least let me talk to him first.
Fine.
Well, I'm not.
Can I maim them at least? Kind of remove a couple of hands, maybe a leg at least.
Oh, calm yourself, Drakix. There'll be plenty of bloodshed in your future, probably.
Well, honestly, I'm very thankful that they did abandon me. I had a very lovely life. But part of me has always has been curious about where I come from. And I'll at least be like, if it's a secondary objective, if we run into them, to ask them about it, if I am a part of it.
Seems we're more intertwined than we originally supposed.
It's almost like fate's hand decided to just interweave our stories.
Very cruelly, but yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
I'm just reflecting on my own past. I was inventing yours.
And at this point, Drac is just going to look at Ava and be like, and what's your story? Unless, of course, you don't want to share, by all means, don't. You don't have to.
She kind of narrows her eyes at him.
And he just, like, looks at her and blinks a couple of times, taking in stride. Once again, not forcing you. Just figured since we are talking about everything, may as well get it all out in the open.
I mean, I apparently have some connection to the docks somehow, but really it's only because somehow we're. I don't even know what you would really call it, honestly.
Neither do I.
It's not really a telepathic connection, it's more of a psychic connection.
Still studying.
To be determined.
Mhm.
But, anyways, I come from a small island. I moved to this island, Wingata, with my family to hope to start a new career for my husband and a new life for us. And our skyship got attacked. In the ensuing chaos, he was severely injured and died at port. So, since then, I have been here, just raising a daughter and making the most out of what life I have left. Nothing really fancy.
I'm sorry for your loss.
She nods at him.
Well, now you know about me and my fun times and what I can really do.
Right.
So, yes, if we actually need to get rid of bodies, I know who to call. If we need help in order to extract ourselves from an island, I also know who to call. And if we need gear, I probably know who to call too.
That's actually quite nice.
Speaking of calling, the doctor reached into his doctor's bag and pulled out a sending stone. I still
Mhm.
have this from the bias. They haven't contacted me, nor me them. But I didn't know if there's a way we can maybe unattune it to their sending stone remotely and just use it for something else. Maybe you can make more use of it than I can.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I wonder if it would be possible to unattune that and. But I don't have sending.
Doctor, give me an Arcana check.
Well, then.
Actually, anybody. Open game, open season.
Oh, good,
So
because
post
I'm
everybody.
proficient.
Okay.
Oh,
That'd be a
fucking dice.
dirty 20.
Natural 20.
Jesus.
Oh.
Almost a natural 20, but it became an 8, so it's a 10.
Aww.
You know what? I just want to roll just to see what happens. Just to see it. This is going to be beautiful.
I'm glad he got the.
That's a 5.
As you're saying this, Doctor, you recall reading in your studies that typically they're made in pairs. It's not impossible to sever the connection from one stone to another, but typically it causes both stones to become inert. You would have to find a secondary stone that either was not enchanted or to disenchant and then enchant the two together. It's always done in pairs.
Might
So-
just be easier to just buy a pair of sending stones.
I mean, yes, but in case Dracus contacts have one that he can attune this to, possible.
True enough.
Wait. Wait.
What?
Didn't he ask us to send him information? Talking
He
about
did.
Catherine.
This is
He-
true.
If I get in range,
Mhm.
I could at least inform him of what we have. Let him find the other.
Hmm.
Now we have a complete avenue to him where he doesn't need to see us face to face.
Well, we could always just ask him for a pair of sending stones. He said he couldn't pay us in like gold or anything for the last
But
one.
if they are confiscating everything that they have,
Well, this is from the Vias family, not the.
never mind. I keep forgetting which one's which. But even
The
then, though,
mortuary
since they
record.
have to go through everybody's stuff at some point in order to verify that it does belong to the correct family,
Mhm.
he could at least know about it.
At the very least, have a spare stone.
Because who knows where the actual brother to this stone is. Unless, of course, one of you knows how to locate it.
I no individual typically contacts me through Miss Aurora. But
All right. At the mortuary.
mhm.
Just saying it was an option, that's all.
You're all right.
All right.
All right, guys. All
As
right.
you are enjoying, as loosely as the word enjoying is, your warm, bitter ale. Is there anything else you wish to discuss before you head your ways back to wherever you're going to be staying tonight?
Brett is perfectly fine not to say another word.
And same for the doctor.
Brack has talked way too much for the day, especially about himself.
Mm-hmm. Today is Learn About Jackets Day.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. As you finish your drinks and you head your separate ways, Eva, I'm going to take a guess you're going to head back home.
Correct.
And the rest of you will head back to the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, are you going to, on your way out of town, are you going to make any stops?
Don't think we have anything any of us need to make it.
No, there's really nothing else we need.
Mm-mm. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take our break there. And let's see. Is there anything you guys want to do for your night's rest before we move into the next day?
Other than spending hours before bed doing the enchanting. At times in this day to
Yes.
Try to hide all of the coffee just in case Red wakes up before Drax does.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, all right, he's already dealt with type poison once today. He doesn't want another.
It's tomorrow when he'll drink it. It's fine.
It's a food.
Oh!
Okay. I'll remember that roll for tomorrow morning. But for now, we're going to take our break. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. I know I need some more water and a snack. So all of you out there watching and enjoying, we hope you are enjoying this stream so far. And go get yourself some snacks. It's D&D night. You need snacks.
Snacks.
Of course, it's D&D
Yes.
night. Go get your snacks. What are you doing here, huh? We'll see you all of you in about 10-15 minutes. And welcome back, everybody. Hopefully everyone went and got some snacks, some more drink. I know for me, when I say I got a snack, I've learned that my snack is some people's meals. So hopefully you got an appropriate size snack for whatever your hunger was.
I've definitely like tripled my calorie intake today, but you know what? It's fine.
I mean, Tasha, you've seen me in person. You've seen me put down food. I'd knock back some food.
You're also a beanpole, sir.
Oh, I'm not a beanpole. I'm decently beefy.
You're like 6'4".
Yeah, but I'm also like 235, so ain't bad.
Yeah, like I said, you're a beanpole.
Anyways, for the first bit of this episode, we have watched and listened as our four investigators, loose term I'll use here to describe this current ramshackle party of individuals make their way through getting a couple of their business done over the last 10 day, getting a new job offer and deciding to jump at it. A interesting deal where they would be some fake it till you make it, some making it properly as ship hands or in some way assisting on a skyship with a returning vessel of a couple of political figures that had come to visit from Riss. As they have figured out the couple of logistical issues, ensuring that Cassandra was well taken care of for the time they would be gone. It is a 2-month round trip this time of year. Actually, always, because neither island moves. So, neither island moves. Some interesting backstory details came to light at a seedy, expensive tavern. When I wrote that tavern out, I was like, this is going to be great. I hope they go here.
Yes.
The party had separated ways, Eva returning to her homestead to spend what time she could with her daughter, as Dr. Drakix and Red returned to their own homes. On their ways outward, however, Eva, as the nightly cloud fog has come in, not as dense in the city streets as there are particular arcane wards, and as take a moment to describe this to all of you. Out in the Surwish fields and the farmlands, there's not a ton of arcane protection or just quality of life to keep the cloud cover from encroaching in. But over more populated regions, there is a bit of kind of a ward that assists with this. And you can actually see upward, there are clouds that go up and over the island when it descends. It does descend far enough to be completely covered and almost not visible, save for a couple of arcane points that are far up over the buildings, serving as lighthouses essentially. As you are heading home, those whispers come to you again.
And at this point, we're what time of day? Just remind me real quick.
Let's say you met them shortly after breakfast. There was some conversation, and then time did pass as they made their travels to and from. So it would be enough to where the island has settled for the evening, but not like super past evening. It's like shortly after sundown.
Okay. Is this a strong one, or is it more like I notice it gets stronger the closer I get to this location?
It is the intensity that had begun to catch your attention. And
Okay.
it has grown slightly to where you, at first, you thought it was actually someone like a beggar or something, and you look around and you see nobody. Actually, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 23.
23. Yeah, you look around, you're like, okay, someone's asking for coin, I'm used to this, whatever. You don't see anybody on the streets. And when I say anybody, I mean you don't see anybody on the streets, which is a bit rare. It is darker in the evening, but it's not to say there's no nightlife in this area or on this island. It's just eerily empty. Except for one figure, you do see the edge of your vision, probably about 30, 40 feet down the road, as they are sitting at what looks to be like a little like hand pushed or pulled cart.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Right?
And they seem to be heading in your direction.
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
What do you do, Miss Eva?
You said they're pulling like a small hand cart, basically?
Yep. I'll say with
Okay.
that high of a roll, you can look at it. It looks to be some kind of a merchant's cart. There's various like trinkets and things hanging from it. There's like you can't see the exact objects, but you can see there are things like that are packed on it to be sold probably.
Is this person between me and my way home?
They are.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Okay.
This is up to a minute. Okay. I am going to cast Kinetic Jaunt on myself
Okay.
and keep walking home, even if that means passing by them.
Okay. Just checking some things real quick on this stat block. Okay. Would you please give me a wisdom saving throw as you pass this individual?
Oh, wisdom. There it is. 15?
15. Okay. As you begin to walk past them, they stop their cart, and you can see beneath the hood this bit of a angular jawline quickly like snaps in your direction, and their hand reaches up and places it on one of their like one of the posts that supports like an archway that where she hangs more things from.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that it is semi loosely feminine in their attire. You hear them too, don't you?
Kind of just give her an odd look. Hear what?
The whispers.
You know them?
I do. Let me hear.
What was that second part? Sorry.
They led me here.
What do these whispers talk about?
They said there was one here who could hear them and tell their tales. And she begins to rifle through like a cupboard on her side. And you hear like the doors open, like, and she rifles through it, and something falls out. And she presses it aside. She pulls out this small like tome bound in this kind of hard paper. It's not leather bound, but it's just like it's compressed paper to make the binding. Hand tied along the spine. And she sets it down. And then kind of looks to her left. Okay, I will. Okay. And she just hands it to you.
Seems like they're quite persistent, aren't they?
Something's taken interest. They always get like this when someone can hear them.
Have they ever hurt you?
No, goodness, no. They just. Yes, I know. 1 second. And she looks like over her left shoulder again. Just hang on. They just... Imagine if no one could hear your voice, but then you find someone that can. You wouldn't hurt them. You just want to be heard. They just want to be heard.
I'll reach out and take the book from her.
You take the book. It has
Please tell them.
has no title.
Please tell them they've been heard.
They know. With that, hopefully you can maybe help them more than I could. And she reaches down to the ground and picks something up and puts it back inside and closes the cupboard on her side, and then you hear like thin chain like reading around, like wrapped around it.
Yep. I'm gonna just tuck the book in the folds of my dress where my belt is.
Okay.
How long have you heard the voices?
Oh, many years now. But here on this island, I traveled here and they seemed stronger here. So I stayed to listen. I couldn't always understand them. Mostly small words. Then, about a week ago, they started talking about someone new.
I must say it'll definitely take some practice, I think, to get to your level of listening.
Listening's only part
I'm
of it.
curious what stories they can tell, though.
Well, hopefully you can untangle that mess. She'll just give a nod and grab the two prongs of the cart and pick them up, start going along.
Keep going home
Okay. Make your way home.
while I add one unmarked book to my inventory.
Do you read the book?
If I have time, yes.
Okay.
It was still early, you said, so I'm
Yes.
not
So
gonna stay up late to read it necessarily.
as you open the book, it is, and you're used to printed works, especially where you're at. They have the ability to mass print books. So to find something that's completely handwritten is a bit of a rarity, in all honesty. As you begin to delve into the book, it begins to talk about the whispers and how to listen, how to utilize that to not just tell their tales, but to keep you safe as well. And you begin to understand some of the elements of using these whispers to be an offensive force, specifically with your bardic abilities.
Sweet.
And one of these tales you read speaks of being able to pull the whispers and use them to coat your weapons to deal a bit more damage.
Noted.
That would be equivalent to your Psychic Blades ability.
Correct. I was about to say that.
Yep, that's
that
it.
makes sense. Thank you very much.
You read into the evening before falling asleep. And the rest of you schmucks.
Yo, what's up?
You make your way back to the shop front.
I actually
Doctor,
thought of something.
you spend your time. Go ahead.
Before we leave, the doctor will make a stop by the Moscales and Colin.
Okay. Are you going to do that the same
Actually,
day
yeah,
or the
that's
next
a good
day?
idea.
Depends if I have time to do my.
You would have time to get
8
one
hours.
of them tonight. Oh, with enchanting, you would have no time today. You would have
Okay.
no time.
Yeah, I'm prioritizing chanting over it, visiting them, but I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. So into the night, the rest of the afternoon, and into the night, you finish your daily work of enchanting. Red, Dracox, anything of you two?
She's probably going to mess with her dagger a bit more, try and figure out if she can become more attuned to it.
Okay. Dracox?
He's gonna try to save the coffee. That is what he's
That's
trying to
right.
do.
You did try to hide it.
Yes. You did not.
Red,
Mhm.
as you are spending your time, would you be in your room or in the kitchen, shop front floor? Where would you be when you just take this time?
I imagine she would be just walking around, or she might. Well, she might be outside, and he might get away with it regardless of his role.
Okay.
If it's still daylight, she
It's
would be
still daylight
outside
at
practicing
this
with her
time,
dagger.
yep. You're outside. You begin to familiarize yourself with the dagger, its weight, its properties. Again, it becomes less of your talent with the blade and your dexterous abilities and just some kind of a connection you're able to impose your sheer will over the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Something, call it arcane, divine, something of a magical tether has linked this weapon to you.
Nice. I like it.
Anything else for you, Dracox?
Nope.
Everyone enjoys a long rest. Next day comes. This would be
Day 9.
day 9.
10.
Yep. What are you going to do first, Doctor? You're going to go out and see the families, or you're going to enchant first?
I think seeing the families first, because that's gonna be easier to do.
Okay.
I can spend the afternoon enchanting. But if I do enchanting first, it'll be late out before
Okay.
I get to.
So, in the morning, you begin to get ready. Are you taking anybody with you?
Red would have expressed her interest in going to visit.
I'll take Red. I don't think Dracox has much interest. Doesn't. Up to him.
He would go if he's told. He has no problem. He's not. He
Well,
really has
okay.
nothing else to do other than saving the coffee.
Yeah. Well, if I take Red away from the apothecary, you can have the entire morning. But
Very
He could
true.
save all the coffee then.
Red's coming downstairs to get
It's an
coffee,
option,
or
yeah.
upstairs.
Okay.
Better.
You begin to
Make
look
sure
for coffee. Make a perception check, or actually make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. You know,
You could still
My
technically
favorite
roll
thing.
lower.
I could. Yeah, it's quite possible. It's an 8.
An 8.
pretty close then.
You
Yeah.
look around and you're like, I need caffeine. I need it.
Mhm.
And you look and you can see where there was once no plant. A plant has been moved from the counter to the table, and it's just like one leaf attempting to hide half a coffee can.
Yeah. She's gonna get the coffee and start making some coffee. What do I need to roll for that?
Make a survival check.
All right, cool. My favorite. +0.
+0.
Hey, it's a 15.
15. You have learned
Yeah.
your lesson, and I will say Never again will the role of coffee making haunt your character. You've learned how the methods. You've learned the ways. You've seen Trackix do it. You understand it now. It's
You've seen
water.
the doctor do it, potentially.
It's coffee. It's filtered coffee, then water is what you have learned. Not all together and then try to strain it out.
Everyone at the party now has made coffee at least once.
Oh
It's
shit,
very
that's
true.
how you make coffee, alright.
I got this.
Eva has enjoyed the coffee. She has not made the coffee.
Oh.
Rude. Well, except for in your own home. But other than that, yes.
Okay. So, Doctor, you let them know what you plan on doing. Who's going to go with them?
After Draktix has some existential dread at realizing Red has made the coffee and taken a sip and not
It's good.
and actually taste coffee and not beans.
Nah.
Trying to figure out why there was a twig in it last time. You're not really sure.
In all honesty, he probably thought like at one point there was a worm and there wasn't there. You know what? I don't want to ask any questions. We will not bring it up. It will never be spoken about again.
Nope.
Nope.
You're a
You're good.
dragonkin. It's fine.
Right? Protein. Come on.
I'm sorry, that might have
Regardless.
just been incredibly racist.
Regardless, he's just like, this is actually good coffee. I
Yeah.
like this. Thank you.
You're
And then he's
welcome.
gonna be like, so I'll go with you guys and do what we need to.
Okay. Who are you going
I
to
was-
first?
Well, the Collins are closer.
Yeah.
Head of the Collins.
Plan is just to inform them that I'll be leaving in the next couple days and will not be able, if there's any medical emergencies, to not go run to the apothecary, go to somewhere.
Okay. Easy enough to communicate there. No need unless you want to. There's anything else you want to communicate?
Unless anything specific comes up from them or their end, that's all I wanted to communicate with them.
No.
Red would absolutely want to make sure that they're doing all right.
Okay. It seems that with obviously help from the doctor and I was going into town, the twins, they seem fine and recovered. The father, Lester, seems fine, hearty. You know, they're all still digesting the new. Actually, we will roleplay a bit here because I just thought about that. So,
Yeah.
as all of you come up to the estate, you notice there are about 3 or 4 new carts of individuals who seem to be gathered around the porch, and you can see Lester, the father, the barrel-chested beer ale gut individual with just this thick, beefy arms, but decent and good smile on his face. Definitely much better spirits than last time you saw him when he was half eaten by a sky shark. He is just looking. You can see him talking to individuals and just, all right, everybody. I know some y'all are new. Some y'all came over from another ranch land. Not gonna be doing anything crazy. Nothing you're not used to. Just new owners. All I ask is that you give us time to get used to this growth, and we'll make sure everyone gets their fair share of the pay. Don't want to undercut anybody, but if you're here, you're going to work. And all the others kind of nod their heads. Yeah. Just a hearty, real salt of the earth kind of individuals. You can definitely tell by looking at them over. Just grizzled people, some younger, some older, but definitely well seasoned for the most part ranch hands.
Anyone we recognize from the night?
Make a perception check.
Stanley cares about that. 14.
14. A couple look familiar. I
ain't gonna say anything. I just was curious.
But he kind of talks to him for a bit before starts giving out essentially, y'all head here, there. He gives his orders out to them, his just kind of workload, and they all kind of nod. And a couple individuals start getting on the carts or take a horse by themselves, and they start going out over the newly expanded ranch lands. And then Letcher kind of sees the doctor and the rest of you and gives a bit of a wave and starts to make his way towards you.
I meet him halfway.
Well,
Good to
morning
see you
there,
doing well, Mr. Collins.
doctor.
Morning.
And he kind of extends his hand towards yours.
And I reach out.
It
and
just encompasses your hand. There's like, where did my hand go?
it.
He shakes it a bit too tight. He's just not used to his strength, more than likely.
I'm probably used to it, actually, given where I grew up from.
Well, certainly an interesting last couple of days. That's for sure.
Very.
Certainly.
Well, we wanted to see how y'all were doing, you folks were doing, and
Well,
I'm slipping in my Sutter accent, not meaning to.
a little bit of a rapid growth, you would say, considering the circumstances. But we're gonna take care of the animals and take care of the land. That's about all we can do.
Understandable. I also wanted to inform you, I've been requested on a ship, and I'll be leaving in a couple of days, so I won't be around for any medical emergencies that may happen. So,
Oh, I see. Well, with said tunnels filled in, I think we'll be okay around here.
yes. Well, if anything does happen, do you know that I won't be around and you need to go somewhere? But I will let you know when I do return. I don't expect it to be too long.
Well, all right. Well, you be safe.
You as well.
Of course.
I wish you all the luck.
Appreciate it. And he kind of gives all of you a nod, and you can see he heads back into the housestead.
With that, I think that concludes the Collins.
Yep.
All right.
Do the Moscows, which
Yeah, this is
You
the interesting one that I really came along for.
head out to the Moscow's land. And as you get there, you can see there are a couple of empty carts hanging around. And you can see there's a couple of individuals who are not Dragonborns are carrying what at least seems to be a last bit of furniture into the home.
Okay, so they're moving in.
And for the first time, first time seeing him and with the intent of conversation. You did see the father at the
train station.
At the train station, but you can
Never
see
interact with this man.
Never interact with him. That's right. He's a little bit more of a lithe Dragonborn, probably about average height, anywhere from 5'10" to 5'11". No tail amongst his family. But they're all seeming to be in decent, good spirits. And he kind of notices you first, and you can see he recognizes you, but he can't really sure from where. And he just kind of
He doesn't know where from or
Yeah.
why he does.
he starts to
I just had that
once you
face,
get within like
know?
30 feet, he starts heading towards you. Yes. Can I help you?
You must be Miss Oscar. I hadn't the pleasure to meet you yet. Spoken quite a bit with your wife during all this.
Yes. My name is Nicola.
Nicola, I'm the doctor.
Right.
And I'm Red.
Yes, this is my
Miss Red.
And this is Drakex.
Look at Drakex.
He waves a little bit.
Oh, cousin.
He kind of like chuckles a little bit at that and just goes, "Moving back in, I see."
Yes. Imagine you've probably heard the news. It seems to be all over of course, by now it's all over everywhere. You can see his head kind of lowers a bit, and there's that moment of just loss and grief begins to encroach on his scaled facial expressions before it sterns a bit, and he lifts his head back up and kind of nods. Justice was found. That's what we can be
Yes.
thankful for.
Yes, and we very happy for you.
The Ilrunes will pay for what they've done.
Well,
As we,
It will.
I don't know
hopefully
if your
only
wife
those who took part.
I don't know
Very
if
true.
your wife mentioned any of the conversations you had with us. We
Um,
felt very confident in this happening.
you can see a little bit of confusion on his face. You would imagine she probably didn't mention it.
Probably.
Well,
We were investigating the scenario.
I see.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to help before you made the sale, but I'm glad with that our efforts were able to get your lands, and to the sounds of it, a bit more.
Did you helping the guards?
Yes, more off the records. We let them take full
Right.
credit. Uh,
We-
we weren't in it for glory.
We certainly don't need that kind of notoriety.
But
I see. Well, I thank you.
and it's very much appreciated. Only I only wish for the best for your family.
Thank you.
I would offer my services as a doctor, but unfortunately I'll be leaving in the next few days on the ship, so I won't be here for a while. But I do own the apothecary, nearby the colony. I don't know if you know of it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I recently came into ownership when the previous owner she had to leave on business, left it in my hand.
I see.
But I'll
Once
be
we get back, we come back around and let you know that it's back open for business again with a doctor.
Oh, then I wish you safe travels, Doctor. And he kind of cocks his head to the side a bit. You can see his dragonborn snout. There's definite, like, humans are interesting creatures, or at least what he can assume is a human.
Right.
Fair enough.
Humanoid at best.
Humanoid, yeah.
Hey, I'm a pale-skinned
You
human
gather
at
he's
best.
probably wondering, are you hiding being a dragonborn? You could be.
At least one of these people looks fully human, okay?
Yeah.
Yes. I thank you for the luck, and I wish good fortune upon your family.
Thank you.
May the goddess Brigantia look after all.
He just kind of nods his head. Or you hear someone call his name and kind of asking questions. If you would excuse me, I have lands to tend to.
Yes, we don't want to hold you up too much.
Right.
And he turns his attention to that individual, and they begin conversing. And similar as you would imagine, it's a lot is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps this is the first time we've interacted with this.
Yeah.
That is also true.
Talked to his oldest son and his wife. Only we've had interaction.
Yep. Okay.
Well, with that, I think that was all I wanted to do. Other than go back to the apothecary and
All right.
so I still have one more full day after this. Right? Of
Right.
enchanting?
You do.
Okay.
Okay. Before we go ahead and wrap up, because we are getting to a good point and you're about to take off on a huge new story arc, is there anything else anybody wants to wrap up for your 10-day before we move into the first day after that?
I mean, the whole time she's gonna be doing the thing that I sent you, or at least trying to, and
Okay.
then and the dagger.
Okay.
Since it seems like she didn't do very well with the thing I sent you.
Okay. Drakix, Eva?
All good here.
Yeah, no, he has. Outside of, well, now that since everybody kind of knows, finding new items to smuggle out and in, there's really nothing else that he would do.
Okay. Well, I know it's just a few minutes early, but we'll go ahead and end it here. So when we pick up next week, we will pick up on the day after y'all's 10-day of rest, having done your various endeavors, taken care of things. Some of you did some entanching, some of you did some other trying to recover some things. But we will see what the next session holds for us and what the next course plotted for this party seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
We are all gonna die.
Sky
bring it back.
pirates. I get to make encounters with sky pirates. I'm so
That's
happy.
if we survive this island army
I don't know what you're
Right.
we
talking
seem
about.
to be headed towards.
Don't worry, give me 2 levels and I can bring you guys back.
That's fair.
Right?
There. Well, thank you all so very much for being here. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode in our story. And I think no closing announcements really. So just my lovely players, thank you for being here. I had a ton of fun this time. I do every time, honestly. I had a lot of fun. I love being the storyteller for you guys. It's a lot of fun. But we are going to go ahead and shut her down. I believe Sunday picks up the regularly scheduled stream for Twisted.
As currently, as far as I know, stream is still on for Sunday.
Good to go. If the word changes, just check out our socials. We will have updates there.
Yes, definitely will have it there.
So, since I get to be enjoying a temporary seat Sunday nights, I look forward to seeing all of you. Where I get to be a player in a world. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm.
Yes, it will be.
I get to harass David, the player now.
That's okay. He thinks he can harass me.
Yeah, I think I can. I can't really.
He tries. He really does try.
Well, everyone, have a fantastic night, and we will see all of you Wednesday.